Base of Hilchos Talmud Torah. Then we'll get back to our discussion of our sugya. The Rama ends off. Molichin asakatan mimalamed lemalamed acher. Shuma hear me menu. If the Talmud is learning by a Rebbe, but you think you can learn better by a different Rebbe, so then obviously you should go to the other Rebbe. Once you get to the next stage, bein b'mikra, bein b'diktuk, whether it's in Tanakh, whether it's in diktuk, grammar, right, how to pronounce things, because as he's talking about younger kids, malami tinokos. So knowing how to read is crucial. So you take them to the best Rebbe possible. If they're both in one city, meaning it's not going to be too hard on the child, so then you can take him. You don't have to like take a big trip and go over a river. But if it's like a big schlep and the child's young, remember what the Rambam say, how old is this child? 6, 7, 8, and being away from the family might be worse than just being with a better Rebbe. I feel also here, if it's safe, and you expand this, that you have to take a lot into account when choosing a yeshiva. Let's say there's a child there's a great Rebbe, but it's out of town, and it's a dorm. So you have to know which child would do well. Some children would do well away. Some children, most children be away at a very young age is not the best thing. So that's this Rambam. You have to not only take into account the best Rebbe, but you also have to take into account other factors that might be involved. Health of the child, I might say even the mental health of the child. One has to make sure, and that applies to everything. Kids have to be kids also, and the Rambam discusses again, learning with them all day, all night. You have to know exactly what the world we live in too, and to give some downtime, because downtime is also important. Okay, last halacha in the parak. Somebody wants to become a Rebbe. If you don't want somebody to open up a yeshiva in a certain place, but if there's a need for it, then that's it. You can't be mocha. If there's 2 schools, if there's only enough for one, then that's called Hatzagas Gvul, that you're not allowed to do. But what if there's enough for 2 schools? Or even try to get some of the kids in Yacholukhos. Again, there are a lot of details that we're not going to get into. Right? It's greater Torah, greater spreading and deepening of Torah by having competition, so to speak, a little bit in the world of Torah, and therefore opening up another school. You always have to do it in a menschlich way, and it's a complicated shilas. But if it's in a way that will be Marbitz Torah and Magdal Torah, so then that is something that is done, and every person in Chinuch realizes that. Again, it has to be done in a proper way. Every yeshiva has to use proper tactics to get Talmidim. But again, hopefully it's Lahagel Torah Ulahadir. Okay. Are we ready to get back into our Gemara? Back into our Gemara. Both of us. Everybody here? Maybe you're here. Also got a haircut? Everybody's getting haircuts these days? Okay. Baruch Hashem. Not that anybody else needs a haircut, but just once I noticed. Okay. Kuf Chavav. So we started the sugya yesterday, getting many aspects of this sugya, but we just did some of the smaller part yesterday. Masa Mashkas Torah. Starting to make a t'nai against what it says in the Torah. The Mishnah says that if somebody makes a t'nai against what it says in the Torah, and t'na'o batel. T'nai is batel. T'nai is batel. You can't make a t'nai against what it says in the Torah. We discussed a little bit yesterday the Yad Ramah and the Svarno about Yaakov Avinu. How did Yaakov Avinu do what he did? Right, go against what it says in the Torah. How was he mashveh bechor? Or he not only made everybody equal, he gave the bechor to a different son. Even worse. It's not just that he gave an equal portion and forgot the bechor, but he gave a equal portion to two sons of Yosef. So we saw Nitna Torah V'Nitzchat Halacha, amazing application of Yad Ramah, and this is the opposite. This is the way we learned it is don't learn from before Matan Torah. And yesterday the Yad Ramah says don't learn from after Matan Torah. And just because this is what happened after Matan Torah, the Mishnah Baba Basra, doesn't mean that has to be before Matan Torah. Okay, we saw the Sforno that had his reason for giving too. But then we got into the Shakal of the Gemara. But the Gemara that goes into is our Mishnah against Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda says, "V'davar shebemamahun sna'o kaya." Right? If you make it a t'nai badini mamanis, then it works. Even though you're not a good guy, remember you're not a tzaddik. Torah, even according to Rabbi Yehuda, the Torah wants marriage, the husband to have the financial obligations, but it works. You know, sometimes things are usher, but they work. Right? A Kohen marrying a Gusha, that's a terrible sin, but you know what? They're married. It's not like one of the Arayos of Chayvi Krisos. A man tries to marry his sister, they're not married. A man tries to marry a Kohen, tries to marry a Gusha, they're married. They're living in sin, but they're married. So sometimes things work, even though the Torah says not to do it. Ask the Gemara, is our Mishnah against Rabbi Yehuda? And we pointed out that the assumption clearly is that Yerusha is a Davar Shebemamon. Kamash Malan, no, there's a big difference because by marriage, Hasam Yada v'Kamachla, Machalo Kamachel. Over there, she knew about it when she gets married. But here, Lo Kamachel. This is what we ended with yesterday. What does that mean, Lo Kamachel? The Rashbam says, as we saw, Lo Kamachel, he doesn't mochel. He isn't mochel. And even if he says he's mochel, someone wanted it. He doesn't get any for it. He doesn't get any hana. So Lamaisa, it's never going to be a mechila. Never going to be a mechila. That's the Rashbam. The other Rishonim we saw. I give you the Ritva. Ritva, what did the Ritva say? We saw the Ritva. What did the Ritva say? Yehuda was just looking for right before Shir. Right? The Ritva says it's 2 points. Right? Harti Amar. She'ein daito limchol. Number one, he doesn't. And even if he tries to, he can't. Says the Ritva. But why can't he? Vigam shayarotze. Again, Rashbam says he'll never. What if he does? What if he's here when he makes a declaration on being mo? I don't care. My father does what he wants. Vigam shayarotze. Eino yachol limchol. Why? She'eda the mochel ma'sheinu shelo. Maybe mochel something that's not yours. We spoke earlier this year about mechila, I think, right? Is it siluk? Is it hakna? Is that this year? I think it was earlier this year. So she'ena the mochel ma'sheinu shelo. You can't be mochel something that's not yours. Havilei ka'omer ma'shirish me'aba machalacha. Like a person tries to sell something that his father owns. You can't do that. Below amru the bahani fly you mechila elagabe bao jisna bod arusa. The only time that a mechila might work is really where you already have a connection to the goods. Right? Like we saw, a husband after Erison. There he has. But here, before the father dies, he doesn't have a connection. Again, what is that Ritva pointing to? The Ritva says you can understand Hamachil as can't also, not just doesn't. But Lo Kamachil, according to the Ritva, can mean can't. But it's what kind of reason does he say can't for? Right? He can't because a dinimaminous reason. He can't be mochel davar she'eino shalcha. It's not something fun. It's not saying something fundamental about Yerusha. So both according to the Rashbam and according to the Ritva and the Rashba also, what has changed in the Havamin and the Maskana? The probability of mechila and details within mechila, but nothing more fundamental than that. But then, as I showed you, then we get to the Rambam. What does the Rambam say? Paragalach Aleph. What does the Rambam say? Who saw it? What is the Rambam telling us about this? What does it mean, lo kamachil, according to the Rambam? Anybody see it? Yeah, Naftali?
Because it's a chukas mishpat.
What does that mean?
And it's like encompassing all law. It's din. You can't. stam halacha, you can't change it.
It's not pure dinim amanis. The Rambam says, "Ein adam yachol lahorish b'sheina royli ursho." You can't be morish somebody who's not supposed to get it. Below la'akar hayerusha min hayorish. Afal pisha zeh mamonu. He acknowledges it's technically dinim amanis. That's what the Gemara says. Afal pisha zeh mamonu. Why? Because it's not pure. Lefisha nemar b'parshas nachlos. V'haisal v'nei Yisrael l'chukas mishpat. Chok, dinim amanis is not chok. Chukas mishpat. Klomar. Shechukazu lo tishtane. Ve'tnai moel ba. You might say the Rambam is saying it's mamanis with exeris hakatziv. Mamanis with exeris hakatziv. That you can't change it. Chukazu lo tishtane. Ve'tnai tnai. Exeris hakatziv, the tnai doesn't work. Or it might be a little deeper. It's not just dinim mamanis with exeris hakatziv. The fact that there's exeris hakatziv tells us that maybe it's not pure dinim amanis. We discussed earlier this year that there are certain areas of halacha that are a hybrid. Remember that discussion? Some need to have a hybrid. Anybody remember any of the ones that we spoke about? Which areas of halacha might represent hybrids?
Nida.
Nida, excellent. Nida is a hybrid of Yaredeya, Itzer v'Heter, and Tumah v'Tara. Belongs in both categories. What else?
Pidyon ben.
I didn't hear.
Pidyon ben.
Pidyon ben. That's where we discussed it. Excellent. Pidyon ben. So Pidyon ben is dinim amanis, but it's also Itzer v'Heter. There's a pidyon. There's a chalos. There's a status change. Right? Ksuba we mentioned. Dinim amanis and Even Ezer. It's in Even Ezer. Some areas of halacha are a little of both. Ribis. I mentioned ribis. Ribis is dinim amanis, but also it's a v'heter, Yaredeya. Different areas of halacha can be in categories. There's not pure. Malva v'lova is pure dinim amanis. Ribis is not. Shmitas ksafim. Shmitas ksafim is mamanis and also it's a v'heter. So maybe that's the secret behind this Rambam. Even though he says the lashon of afal pishes and mamonhu, he does say that because that's acknowledging the havamin of the Gemara. That's not totally rejected. Not totally rejected. But the Rambam says it is different. It is different in the Maskana. Anybody see the Meiri on this Gemara? What did the Meiri say? Everybody catch the Meiri? So the Meiri. Does the Rambam say the same thing as the Rambam? What did the Meiri say? Anybody catch it? I'll read you the Meiri if you didn't see it. It says the Meiri. Ha'omer ish ploni b'chor lo yito b'shnayim. Lo amar klum. My b'chor should not take b'shnayim. Meaningless. Sha'af api sha'amru. B'masa mashakasa b'davar sh'b'mamon no kayam. Even though by a davar sh'b'mamon, Rabbi Yehuda says no kayam. Mikol makom. Parshas nachlos. Ho v'nemra b'chukas mishpat. Ain't not yochol batfla. Sounds like Rambam. He says, even though we say the Rambam with Kayam, since it says Chukas Mishpat, Tnai doesn't work. Kohi removes up in Midrashos. This is what is hinted to in the Midrashim. The note says, I don't know what Midrashim this is about. The Midrashim that hint to this, unclear. But then he adds a line. And tell me about this line. Ubi Gemara Hosifu bat pam acher. That's what the Meiri adds. Ubi Gemara, after stating this shot, which is basically the Rambam, and then he says, in the Gemara, there's another tam. What is he saying? He's assuming that his reason is one reason. Why can't it work? Because it's not exactly dinim ominous. And then he says the Gemara gives a different reason. What reason does the Gemara give? There's no mechila. Lo kamachil. That's the Meiri. That's fine. You have to say that. Somebody tell me another way. According to the Meiri, Iker Chaser min HaSefer. You ever hear that phrase? Iker Chaser min HaSefer means the main thing is left out. You write something secondary, and then you left out the Iker. What's the Meiri saying? The Meiri is saying that the Rambam, he doesn't quote the Rambam, interestingly. I don't know why. He always quotes the Rambam when he wants to. Ole HaMachaber, he calls it. He's quoting the Rambam's Lashon. He obviously has the Rambam in mind. Says the Meiri that the reason that it doesn't work is because Chukas Mishpat. And the Gemara gives a different reason. Fine, the Gemara does not use the words Chukas Mishpat. And maybe, and only after looking at it a few times, you catch it. Maybe you could test something else. That additional point in the Meiri. Somebody think of it? You have to read the Gemara this way. You have to say, he says, I'm saying this reason, the Gemara is giving another reason. Maybe one could suggest, no. This is exactly what the Gemara is saying. Maybe the Rambam understood. Where does the Rambam get this from? Right? Where does the Rambam get this from? It's called a chok, and the Meiri copied him. Right? The Magen Mishnah always quotes the reasons. Doesn't quote a makar here. Where's the makar for the Rambam? Sorry, I forgot to look in the Chokas Li Kufa. Okay. Okay, I'll look more for tomorrow. But where does the Rambam get this from? What's his source for saying Chukas Mishpat? Maybe you could say against the Meiri. Not that the Meiri and the Rambam are giving an Iker reason and the Gemara is saying another reason. But then Iker Chasim not safe there. The Rambam understood the line of the Gemara of Lo Kamachil as saying this is not just pure dinim ominous. It's not like the Rashbam or even the Ritva. He wasn't Mochel, or he can't be Mochel because it's not his yet. No, he can't be Mochel because this is Isser Beheter. A son Yarshik from the father has something deep about it. It's not just like a sale. It's not just like a matana. Maybe that's how the Rambam understands the line of the Gemara. It's not an additional reason, like Meiri wants to say. It is the reason of the Gemara. Exactly what the Gemara is saying. Lo kamachel, he can't be mochel, but not for the reason the Ritva said. They can't be mochel because it's shalom. He can't be mochel because it's not pure dinim ominous. It's a little bit of a hybrid in it. And that is why he can't be mochel. Okay, so that's the okay, that's in terms of reading the Gemara. Somebody have their hand up? No, that's just a hand.
Rabbi, where was that Rambam?
Now let's get Vav Aleph. Vav Aleph Nachlos. Vav Aleph. I didn't do enough to look more. Is there any other Gemara that the Rambam might have been based on? I have to look around again. I don't remember exactly. But if not, then I think you could definitely say that this is the source of the Rambam. Chukas Mishpat. Okay. Now let's get into the main discussion that we want to have in the sugya, and that flows not from Tosfos. Tosfos here doesn't say a word. The other Rishonim here talk about it, but it's the Tosfos in Meseches Ksubis. Tosfos in Ksubis. This is a fundamental Tosfos. A fundamental Tosfos that gives us Yisodos. So what is Tosfos Kasha? Tosfos Kasha? Somebody remind me, what's Tosfos' question? What does he ask? Who saw Tosfos' question?
How would it
Tosfos
work?
Kasha is?
Why are they married?
Yeah. Somebody says, I only want to be married without these obligations. I get married, I'll menas that I don't have these obligations. And then, what do we say? You can't make such a tonight. It's against what it says in the Torah. And therefore, you're married and you have the obligations. That's the halacha. Maisa kayam tnao batel. That's the halacha. Maisa kayam tnao batel. The question is, ask Tosfos, why is that? That's what the tema. I hope some of you have the tubas in front of you. Tubas nun vav and aleph. Nun vav and aleph. Says Tosfos the tema about the sixth line of Tosfos. The first 6 lines of Tosfos discussed tonight. Kaful. We're not going to read that again. Hopefully you saw that. That's all the rules and regulations of Tanaim. You have to have, you have to say both positive and negative. That's not kafel. If it rains, then we're married. If it doesn't rain, then we're not married. That's not kafel. Or hein kodim alav. You need the positive before the negative. If it rains, then yes. And if not, not. You can't say if not, not. And if yes, yes. There are many different rules. The Tekes Kedusha talks a lot about it. Of mishpatei hatznoim. All the rules and regulations of Tanai. So fine. The Gemara says we must be talking about a case where he used the proper mishpatei hatznoim. So says Tosfos the tema. In Kenai mikudeshes. Why does the Kedushin work? He made a t'nai explicitly. I don't want to be married if I have to do this. You want to say I'm not married? Fine. We'll walk away. We'll call it even. But how can you say I'm married and I have the obligations? I only wanted to be married without the obligations. That's Tosfos' kasha. That's what all the Rishonim ask. All the Rishonim ask. If you want to say the Tanai is batel, so you should say the Maisa is batel. The Maisa conditional on the Tanai. So how is it that the Maisa is kayam and the Tanai is batel? Before we get to the Iker answer of Tosfos, Tosfos has a fleeting possible answer. If you think about it, it's very interesting. The Ein Lomar. Ellie, you with me? From London. Ellie, you here? Good. The Ein Lomar. You have Tosfos, everybody have Tosfos. The Ein Lomar. Tosfos says, don't answer following possibility. Don't say that this is why the Maisa works in the Tanai's Batel. Why are they married? He didn't want to be married if he's obligated. Really, what is he thinking? What he's interested in is that she is mocheles. He should be mochel and say, okay, I'm not going to demand it. Bahari machla. So maybe this is why it works. Because really she was mocheles. Ella, the ein mechilas mechila. It just doesn't work halachically. What's that possibility in Tosfos? What's Tosfos suggesting as an answer? Because the Ein Lomar, he's going to reject it in a second. What is Tosfos suggesting? Maybe they're married, even though he didn't want it, because really, what was his das? His das was only to have her be mochel. And she was mochel. It was just that halacha came in and said, your mechila doesn't work, because you can't have a marriage like that. Marriage, by definition, is about obligations. Well, what's that possibility? Tosfos is suggesting that there's some, because there might have been some conceptual moment. It didn't really happen. But Tosfos says really he did it to say that she's mochel, and she was mochel. It's just that we don't let the mechila have effect. Really, the Tanai was fulfilled because she was mocheles to him. They're married not because of her. They're married because of halacha. That's a very unusual answer. Maybe the Tanai was fulfilled, and that's why they're married. I don't want to have you share Tosfos. And she said, fine. And in some conceptual moment, not really in time, it was a second, a millisecond, not really a millisecond. It was a second that it was mechila, that halacha came along and said, you can't be married. Says the Tosfos, maybe that's why it works. Maybe that's why it works. Again, you got to think more about that answer. But Tosfos says that can't work because the case works even in a case where mechila is not shy. Right? That's what Tosfos quotes the Gemara in Nazir. Okay, so hopefully this will last again. So again, the Gemara Tosfos suggested that there was a possibility that maybe the reason it worked is because there's he was doing it al dat that she's mocheles, and she was mochel. It was just for a fleeting moment, but really the mechila didn't work. But maybe it worked. We saw because the mechila did work. So the Gemara, the Tosfos says, the Gemara Nazir, has nothing to do with mechila, and that also we say Maisa Kayam, and the Tanai is Batel, right? Where was that case? The guy where somebody says that, I want to be a Nazir as long as I could drink wine. Already feel free to move a little bit, so I see that you're moving. I know that things aren't frozen. We hear you hear me or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I see some of you are not moving. Okay. Trying to make sure that you're only frozen on your screen. Good. But Tosfos says that in the case in Nazir, the person says, I'm not a Nazir as long as I could drink wine and be Matami L'Meisim. He's a Nazir and he can't drink wine. And that has nothing to do with Mechila. So again, there must be something else here that's going on why the mice is Kayam and the Tanai is Bat. So what does Tosfos say? What's Tosfos' Yesod? We're going to have three different ideas in the Rishonim. Tosfos, Rabbi Tam, and the Ramban. What's Tosfos' Yesod? What does Tosfos say? Who's got it? Who's seen anybody seen the Tosfos yet? Who's seen the Tosfos yet that hasn't spoken recently? What's to say for us? Anybody? I don't want to call on people in the yeah.
At the end, he says, "Delo amrinan masnel mashakasu batura tino batel ela hechad shemiskavin lakor mashakasu batura." That it's.
So we're gonna get to that one. I don't want to get to that line yet. But before that, the first wide line, Omeri. What you caught is very important also. But the first, Omeri. First wide line says Tosfos. Yaakov, you with me? Right? Omeri. Bilav Damrinan. Were it not for the fact, Bilav the Alfina Mitzvah B'Nei Ruvain, were it not for the makar of Tnai in the Torah, Hava Amina Shum Tnai Eino Mavatel Atzamaisa. This Tosfos, the concept of Tnai is a tremendous chiddush. The fact that you can make a Tnai on anything is a tremendous chiddush. And if I didn't have the makar at the end of Sefer Bamidbar, you can make a Tnai, I would have said no such thing. Yafilu lo yiskayim besofa ma'isa kayim. I would have said the ma'isa is kayim. Bahashta di alfinan. Why? We're gonna have to talk about that. Tosfos says misvara. I would say that no t'nai should work. Nothing. It's all a chiddush. So if the whole thing is a tremendous chiddush, Tosfos says I'm going to limit it. The Torah is machadesh t'nai. So we're going to say only Tanai that's exactly like the one in the Torah is going to work. That's it. In the Torah, they were not masna against what the Torah says. The fact that we learned from there that the Tanai works, it's only going to work if it's a Tanai not against the Torah. Similar to B'nei Ruvain. Shalom Hisro, Mashakasa Torah. That's the Yesod of Tosfos. Question is, what's the svara for this svara? We get asked that. Why is it so unusual? Chiddush, it's so not logical to say that you can make a condition on something. Right? You can make, in secular law, all types of conditions that you can make. Right? So what's wrong with the condition? And if you want to say, what's Tosfos saying? What is Tosfos' lashon? Tosfos' lashon is, no t'nai should be mevatel a maisa. That's Tosfos' lashon. No t'nai should ever be mevatel. 1 second. trying to be Mevatel Lamaisa here? What are we trying to do? Somebody tell me. Are we being Mevatel Lamaisa here with this tonight? Or how else could you say it?
Say that the Misa never existed in the first place.
Ah, exactly. We're trying to prevent the Misa. You're right. Tosfos, you're right. If you already had an action, let's say I got married, then a week after the marriage, I want to say, you know what? I'll manas that it rains. You can't do that. Once you do the Misa, you can't undo it. That's called being mevatel a Misa. But here, why is this bittul a Misa? This is what we might call minias ha-Misa. Preventing. So why is that bad? Why is that so, we wouldn't have thought of it. It's a question of everyone, but Rabbi Chanan asked this. Rabbi Chanan in Tubis, in the Kovet Shiurim, Rabbi Chanan in Os Kuf Samach Tet says, Vakasha, below Shayach Lo Markain, when do we say that Tosfos' svara might make sense? Lo Shayach Lo Markain Elahecha Shekfar Chala Maisa, Shelo Yuchal Lachzer Bo Mehai Taima. Once he already did it, you can't a week later then come up and try to undo it. That's cool. You're making it tonight before you did anything. You only want it to be chal, right? You only want it to be chal as you conditioned. Ich efshar shetachol ha'maisa neged ritzona. How could it be? I mean, what do you need the pasuk for? It's such a chiddush? Why is it such a chiddush? No, you're preventing it from happening. You're not breaking anything. That we have to understand this Tosfos. Why does Tosfos assume that whenever you make a t'nai, it's considered breaking the Maisa? It's not called preventing the Maisa. That's the kasha. Tosfos assumes that whenever you make a t'nai, it's called bittul ha'maisa and not minias ha'maisa. And that's why we say here, Maisa Kaim and the t'nai is bata. So either you had a good Maisa, you're trying to ruin it. So we say, no, you're ruining it, didn't help. Why is that? Why is that?
Rabbi, which os in the Kovet Shiurim was it?
Kuf Ayin Kuf Samach Tes. Kuf Samach Tes. Kuf Samach Tes. So what's the hesber? What's the hesber? So there is a line. We're not going to, you could look at this line. I didn't give it on the Marmakomos. There is one line that's used by the Achronim out of context. Just to be aware of the line. Let me see if I could find the line right now. Just 1 second. I could find the line. If not, I'll find it for you for, it's here in the second parak of Tubis. Here it is. It's on Yud Pesam Amazing Subis. There's a line there. We're not doing the context. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. You can look it up for tomorrow. The language of the Gemara, out of context, is T'nai Milsa Achrisihi. That's the language of the Gemara in Ksubis on Yud Pesam Abayis. T'nai Milsa Achrisi. So what does that mean? So let's see a Gemara first in Maseches Gittin. We're going to have two ideas to help explain Tosfos. Two ideas. They're very similar, but one from Rabbi Chanan and one from the Rav. One from Rabbi Chanan and one from the Rav. The first Rabbi Chanan, the Gemara in Maseches Gittin. The Gemara in the first Mishnah in the last parak of Gittin. Hey, Beis. Hey, Beis Amar Aleph, the beginning of Parak Megarish. Gemara says there, Megarish is Ishtov, Amarlah Hariyad Muteres L'Chol Adam, Ella Leploni. A man divorces his wife and says, when he gives the get over, you are mutter to everyone, you're mutter to marry everyone, Ella Leploni. Very unusual phrase. What does that mean? You're mutter to marry everyone, Ella Leploni. We don't know what that means, right? We know get has to be ho-race, has to cut off from the previous husband, just be muteris l'alma. So what does it mean, ela leploni? Rabbi Eliezer matir. Rabbi Eliezer says it's a good marriage. It's a good divorce. Good divorce. Chachamim say no. We pass on the chachamim. That doesn't work. You're mutter to everyone except for that person. So regarding that person, you're still married to me. That's not a get. That's not krisus. That doesn't work. You have to take it back and give it again. So ask the Gemara. Rabbi Eliezer says it works. Chamte doesn't work. Here's the important lashon of the Gemara. What does that word ella mean? How do we understand that? You're mutter to everyone. Ella leploni. What does that mean? Iboilahu. Hi ella chutzu or almanasu. Does that word ella mean you're mutter to everyone except for so and so, chutz, or does it mean almanas? Or does it mean almanasu? You're mutter to everyone, meaning you're divorced, almanas, that you never married ploni. Not that you're not mutter to ploni. So is it chutz or is it almanas? That's the Gemara's question. The Gemara asks, chutzu doesn't mean chutz. Uba chutzu to plea your Rabbanan later balazar. And the chutz is the problem that the Rabbanan have. The Rabbanan say it doesn't work. Why? Because you excluded someone from the gerushin. A shiur lo beget. Because you left out a person. Shiur beget. That's called a remainder. That's not a krisus. Avo balmanas modile. But maybe the Rabbanan would agree if he said almanas, gureshus, divorce, they don't marry so and so. I would agree to that. Midi dahavi al kol t'nai ba'alma. You can make any t'nai on divorce, right? So is that how we understand ella? Ella means chutz, and the machlokes is about chutz, but almanas, everybody would agree it's okay. O dilma asked the Gemara almanasu uba almanasu to polygrabal ezra derabanan. Maybe this issue is almanas, and Rabbi Elazar only allows almanas. Avo b'chutz moda, but by chutz, you would for sure say it's also no good. Bashir lebaget. That's the question. Machlokas is in that Mishnah. Is element chutz? Is element almanas? You didn't see that Gemara. You can go through it. But what's clear from that Gemara? Chutz is a bigger problem than almanas. That's clear. Whichever you hold of, whichever side of the suffix, it's clear that chutz is a bigger problem than almanas. Why? In both cases, she can't marry so-and-so. Whether he says chutz or whether he says almanas, in both those cases, he is excluding her from marrying so-and-so. What's the difference? Says Rabbi Chanan, we have to understand the mechanism of Tanai in halacha. Tanai works in a certain way, and chutz works in a certain way. Chutz, let's say I say, you can have all these, I'm giving you a present. And I say, I'll give you a present of a bowl of jelly beans. I'm saying, all the jelly beans are yours except for the red ones, because I love them. All the jelly beans are yours except for the red ones. There's a limit, there's an internal limit in the kinyan. That's chutz. Chutz is an internal limit in the kinyan, in the das. I do not have das to give you the red jelly beans. I'm giving you the other jelly beans. That's chutz. What if I say, here, the jelly beans are yours, but you can't eat the red ones. The jelly beans are yours, almanas, as long as you don't eat the red ones. You know what that is? I have full das to give you everything. There's a separate external condition. Tanai. Tanai says Rabbi Chanan. That same piece in Rabbi Chanan, but this is in the next os. In os kuf ayin beis. Kuf ayin beis. Tanai is what we call mil sachrisi. Tanai is not a limit within the das on the maisa. The das on the maisa is complete. just made a conditional on something. That's considered an external factor. An external factor. It's not within the Maisa. It's not a limit of the Maisa that you're trying to accomplish. It's just highlighted by Chutz versus Almanas. So says Rabbi Chanan, Upir chiluk zeh, v'bachutz lo asa el achatzi Maisa, shlo itira lakol. By Chutz, left the man out. You didn't divorce Lagabe this man. Chutz is a limit in the Maisa. Avo ba'almanas, a Maisa shlema. The almanas, the Maisa, and the das on the Maisa is complete. Hainu. The Maisa mitzad atzma kocha lachul behechlit. The Maisa is complete. Elo de milsa achrisi ma'akev. There's a separate external problem. In Isalik es atnai, if you remove the tnai, then the das on the Maisa will remain. That's the difference between chutz and almanas. Says Rabbi Chanan, that's the svara of Tosfos. Why does Tosfos say that tnai is always called bittul ha'maisa, not minias ha'maisa? Right, that was our question. You're making the tnai before you do it. It doesn't matter when you say it. It doesn't matter when you say it. It's always bittul ha'maisa. Why? Because the Maisa is complete. Tnai is something external. Not something. Marriage is complete and full. Tnai is always considered milsa achrisi. Tnai is always something external. It's not a limitation in what you're doing from within. It's an external factor that's going to break it, which often works. Right? Almanas that you're married, almanas that arranged, so that can break it. That's the Chiddush HaTorah, according to the Tosfos. That's why it's such a huge Chiddush. It's a huge Chiddush because the Maisa is complete. And you're breaking it with an external factor. Okay. Questions? That's the svara over Rabbi Chanan for Tosfos. Number one. Similar idea, not exactly the same, different words, but a similar idea said by the Rav, said by Rav Soloveitchik, based on Tosfos and Maseches Kiddushin. Tosfos and Kiddushin, this is a crucial Tosfos also. And this is a much discussed Tosfos. There are certain Makoros that come up all the time. So this is a Tosfos that comes up all the time. Tosfos and Kiddushin on Mem Pesach base. Adam Tosfos Mem Pesach base and Kiddushin. Tosfos there. Plus, yeah.
I don't understand. I don't understand. I understand what Rohan is saying, but shouldn't that only be meaning once the Maisa goes through, then the Tanai is moved out to the Maisa? Meaning, if the Tanai prevents the Maisa from ever getting off the ground, they have to call that a
Tanai never prevents something from getting off the ground. The Tanai is always looked at in halacha as breaking, even if you formulate it with the Maisa, but it's a reflective of a full das on the Maisa, and you're trying to get an external factor to break it. That's how Tosfos looks at Tanaim in general. Tanai is not like Almanas is not chutz. That Gemara highlights Almanas versus chutz. Chutz is a limit in the das itself. I'm giving you all the jelly beans, but don't eat the red ones. I'm giving you all the jelly beans. There's full das on the Maisa. It's just that I don't want you to eat the red ones. And if you do eat the red ones, then that could break the kinyan. But I didn't say I'm not giving you the red ones. There's a difference between the two.
But
two different halachic mechanisms.
You don't get. But in this case, since you're making a Tanai against the Torah, you don't get. As soon as you say you get all the jelly beans, you don't get any jelly beans, even though it's something that's not. I understand what you're saying, but
no, the point is that because it's considered external, then once we knock out your external factor, you're left with complete das on the Maisa, and you're married.
How can you not get the external
if you make
factor
a
if the external factor
problematic-
prevents the?
You make a problematic t'nai, the t'nai is an external factor. So once there's a problem with it, then you just get rid of it. You're left with full das on the Maisa, to be a Nazir, to be married. You're left with full das on that. Because t'nai is considered halachically external. External.
Fine.
Right, Dov is saying that t'nai, right, the first, you did the Maisa. But again, the question is here, Dov is asking, the t'nai is essentially dibur mevatel Maisa. Right, it doesn't work here. And clearly it doesn't work in general. Again, Tosfos holds that t'nai is like dibur. I guess it's kind of like dibur. That's mevatel Maisa. But again, it's even if you formulate it beforehand, conceptually, t'nai is external for Tosfos. T'nai is external for Tosfos. There's another idea by Reb Soloveitchik. By the Rav, let's just start this now. There's two sources. Let's just do the first one at least. Tosfos at Kiddushin Memtes Base. Very important Tosfos. Tosfos says there are three categories of Meisim. Says Tosfos, the Omeri, the Tzarech L'chalek. The context of that Tosfos is in the sugi of Dvarim Shebelev Einam Dvarim. Something in your heart is not called significant. If you didn't say it, you didn't say it. Tosfos says there are three categories of Meisim. Yeish Dvarim she'enam trichim t'nai kaful elagili milsa da'anan sadi adaita dehachi avid. Gam yesh dvarim pilgilu milsa lo boy. Tosfos says there are three categories of meisim. There are some meisim that you do that is called dvarim shebelev ubelev kol adam. Let's say somebody gives away all of his property because he does not think he has a son. He sells all of his property. He gives it away. And then after he gives it all away, his son, his long-lost son comes. Hi, Dad. Oh, my gosh. You know what the halacha is? He gets all his stuff back. He didn't make a t'nai. He didn't say anything. Or let's say, what's this talked about? Somebody sells their house because they're making aliyah. And then their plans fall through and they don't make aliyah. They didn't make a condition on manas that I'm making aliyah. Says Tosfos, even without saying anything, it's obvious. Dvarim shebelibo ubelev kol adam. It's obvious. Then there's the other category, the other extreme, where you have to make a t'nai kafel. You have to make all the rules and regulations. That's like where it's totally not obvious. I want to marry you only if it rains next Tuesday. Okay. But that's a total, right, non-obvious t'nai. So you have to do the normal mishpatei t'noim. Regular rules and regulations. And then there's something in the middle where it's kind of obvious, but it's not 100% obvious. Then you would need Gili Milsa. You would need something. You would need, just to be Megala like the dots. You don't have to make it conditional. You have to be Megala something. Three categories of Maisa. Ask the Rav. Ask the Rav. You want to look this up? It's in Rishima Shiurim and Bamitzia. Big fat one. Rishima Shiurim and Bamitzia. Page Reish Ayin and Reish Ayin Aleph. Says the Rav, what's the difference between the first case where he doesn't say anything and his son walks in? Why is that Maisa Mevutal? He didn't make a t'nai. Right? He just sold his property. He didn't think he had a son. Says the Rav, there is two types of breaking up of Maisa. Says the Rav, there's something called Bittul HaMaisa Midin Ta'us. It's something called Bittul HaMaisa Midin T'nai. In category one that we mentioned, he sold his property and then his son walks in. So why does he get his stuff back? He didn't make a condition. There, it's more internal. That's a within. He didn't have das on the kinyan if he had a son. that's a midin toast. The whole thing falls apart. The whole Maisa crumbles from within. There was no das Kenyan here. The whole thing from Ikara is broken. What about if a Tanai is not fulfilled? I want it to rain next Tuesday and it doesn't. That's not bittul hamaisa midin tos. That's bittul hamaisa midin Tanai. What does that mean? The Maisa was full. Tanai comes afterwards and tries to be mevatel. So in both cases, the Maisa might be broken, but there's a big difference conceptually how it works. The big difference. Again, Rabbi Chanan used that Gemara in Gittin as a model. Chutz versus Almanas. Rabbi Soloveitchik used that Tosfos in Kedushin as a model. Whether it's Tos, whether it's Tanai. They both might break the Maisa, but one's from within and one's from without. One means it never got off the ground in the first place. There was not full das. And by Tanai, there was full das. It's just broken afterwards. And that's why, again, like he says, Tosfos holds that Tanai breaks it afterwards. It's not from within. It's not midin to'us. It's midin bittul Tanai. That's very different. Midin to'us hamaisa. And therefore, says the Rav, that's the pshat of the Tosfos. Again, the Rav and Rav Soloveitchik and Rabbi Chanan are very similar in terms of how they explain Tosfos. They're just using different makoros to jump off from. But they're both saying, when it comes to Tanai, it's an external factor that is coming to break the Maisa. That's how it's viewed in halacha. And because it's viewed that way, that's what Tosfos says. There's a problem with the Tanai, and the Tanai falls away, and the Maisa is Kayim. Marriage, Nazirus. It works. When a person buys into the system of Tanai, you might say, the guy's going to scream and say, what are you married? Tough luck. When you make your marriage conditional, this is how a condition works in halacha. Not that we feel bad for you, or this is how it works. It's like the case of divorce. If somebody says, the jelly beans, the case of the jelly beans, the case of the divorce, one case works, one case doesn't work. It's all how the mechanisms work. An internal problem won't work. An external problem would fall away afterwards. Those are two ways to understand process. Or the same way, but two emphases. Here's one more. Yeah, Eli.
Rabbi, does that fit well with the Rambam, who says that if someone divorces almanas, then the girl could even get remarried, and the woman could get remarried before the condition is actually fulfilled. There's like a
right. I have to remember, where's that Rambam? I don't remember it, but yeah, I mean that's a tricky, because that's also because almanasas goes l'mafreya. Almanasas kamei achav dami. Gemara says we paskin that way. Almanasas kamei achav, so it goes l'mafreya. He's still taking a risk if the Tanai is not fulfilled or not. But yeah, but in a chanami, any kind of Tanai, if it's external, then the Maisa is kayim. The Maisa is kayim. There is a Ravid. I'm not going to do it now because running out of time. The Ravid in I gave you in Hilchos Zechiyah, Gimel Ches. Look at that Ravid and see if you can fit the Rav Soloveitchik's shot into the Ravid. And then we're going to get into, again, this is all Tosfos. Tosfos is shot number 1 of the Gemara. Rabbeinu Tam is going to be the second shot we're going to see. And then we'll see the Ramban himself. 2 other fascinating inyanim. And think, as you go through the answers, think if there's any nafkaminas between how you answer the question. Is there any halachic nafkaminas? And that's the part of Tosfos Natano read later, before. Look at that continuation, the Hemshech of Tosfos in Ksubas Nun Vav, where he talks about if the guy wasn't aware that it was against the Torah. He had no idea. Let's say the guy didn't know that it nazir is to drink wine. Why would he make it tonight? I don't know, good question. But what if somebody's shogeg? So that's what we will talk about. Okay? Go ahead. We'll see everybody tonight, Hashem.